Hey everyone, this week there is Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. This is my last minute predictions I really wanted to share. I've seen it on the internet that it's for the IBF World Heavyweight Championship. I know they have stripped off Alexander Usyk of it, which is like a very cowardly move. I still feel like Alexander Usyk is the IBF champion and he's still the undisputed champion. I think this is all what the boxing promoters do, this is why a lot of boxing fans, they have started to lose interest in their boxing, in these boxing matches, like with these corrupt boxing promoters and stuff. But let's keep those things aside now. I don't think so, like this fight is not just for IBF title. I think this is something more than that. This is a battle for London actually. The previous big match, which was for almost was for the Battle of London, was like Anthony Joshua versus Dillian White, which Anthony Joshua proved himself that he is the top dog in there, that he is actually capable of having, carrying the heavyweight division, and not just the heavyweight division and not the belts, but also London along with him. He had the full support of London, and I think this is one such time where it's not just the fight for IBF title, it's a battle for London. Whoever wins this matchup, I think they are the one who's going to be this uncrowned London champion, like the guy in London, which in London, I remember in a lot of pubs we used to talk about this, this guy being the mighty guy and everything. I think this is one such matchup which all the London people can vouch for. And let's look at the experience, who do I think wins this matchup? I really want Anthony Joshua to win this matchup, and I still feel like Anthony Joshua is going to win it. But again, I'm saying there might be a what do you call it, as a surprise out of nowhere. Daniel Dubois may even catch him. Anthony Joshua, like if you look at all his past fights, he takes each fights like in a different way, and both his past fights with this new promoter Ben Davidson has been like really, like his performance have been like tremendously amazing. And not just that, I also feel like like Anthony Joshua has got this new spirit. I think he's hit this new what do you call it, as the prime, like the new prime for Anthony Joshua. I felt like he was already in his prime, but now I feel like he's still in his like absolute prime, where he can actually go on about and still could be the undisputed champion, provided if he could beat Usyk again, which I may very well see happening in the future, as Usyk is aging quite a lot. And also these two guys have got history, so the fight in itself is has got an amazing storyline. And Daniel Dubois is so young, he's 27, he's almost had like a few like a couple of proper like a championship fights. I think the two major fights that he had, from my point of view, I would probably say is against Joe Joyce and Alexander Usyk. Against Joe Joyce, don't get me wrong, I like Daniel Dubois a lot. I think he is the future, he is the future champion that London has got to offer, for this entire world, for this entire fans who are around the world. I think he is the guy, the next generation. And more than that, I feel like one thing that I think that Dubai may be lacking in him is the dog in him. I think maybe this fight, the dog might come out, or even who knows, maybe in a couple of other fights, like he could be mentally prepared, and finally, like the real dog in him, that boxing thing, there is a saying, in the boxing lore, even Muhammad Ali in multiple interviews, he said even Mike Tyson, first 1.5 minute after the bell rings is what is how much you can remember what the coaches taught you, and even the so-called the game plan that you had, everything. But after that, it's the spirit that carries you forward. It's like you need to have that unrequited love for the sport, and more than that, the spirit. The real combat spirit. And do I think boxing is a combat sport? No. Boxing is boxing. It's completely different. I've done boxing for a very few limited time of my life, and trust me, boxing is not a proper combat sport, but still, all in all, Anthony Joshua, like the guy who's like the golden boy that UK had to offer, gold medal winner of 2012 Olympics, and he was the former unified champion as well. And the other something being Wilder, like so many matchups have gone in the past. Like people have lost interest now in this Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder matchup, and even in the Tyson Fury matchup. And I think Anthony Joshua may have got like very few real, money fights left in this heavyweight division, because I feel boxing as a whole is dying, and this heavyweight division again is sort of on the brink of it. I don't know, you should have contenders, there should be a way where you can sell fights, and this fight, Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois, it sells by itself, the battle for London, IBF title, and much more, and I really want to look forward for this matchup. And my personal prediction, I'm gonna go with Anthony Joshua, but I don't know, I have this gut feeling which tells me that Dubai is going to, sort of surprise us. And I think, maybe right from the build up of this matchup, and right from the start of these matchups, one thing I've constantly seen from Dubois, maybe his body language, or maybe something that he really wants to say, but he doesn't want to say it like concretely out, is like he doesn't want himself to be taken as a mistake. He wants to prove a point, both the times in against Alexander Usyk and Joe Joyce, he sort of gave up. People started calling him the quitter guy. He's the quitter. He'll never be a proper champion or whatever it is. I feel like this is the matchup. This is like I think this would be his inception of whether he can be an actual champion or not. And more than that, what do you think? I think he grew up. I'm pretty sure he must have grown up watching Anthony Joshua, by the way. And more than that, he was his training partner as well. Before people say he dropped him, I'm not just saying that Dubois can do this, not just because, Dubois dropped him in the sparring. Sparring is completely different. I've seen a couple of sparring all by myself, and I'm telling you, so many guys, if a guy can actually move fast, there may be times he will be flat-footed during a sparring match. There is a lot of limitations and catch in a sparring. So forget the fact that whatever happened in the sparring is going to happen again. Anthony Joshua is a bit chinny. That is like the only thing I have. I thought the weak armor, that is the only weak link in Anthony Joshua's, capabilities. And still, I'm going to go with Anthony Joshua, but a gut feeling tells me maybe Dubois could get it done. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dubois wins, but most probably I think it is going to be like Anthony Joshua. He's going to like stop Daniel Dubois by 8th or 10th round. I think by that time, if Dubois is the good old fighter like what he was before, I think probably he would actually quit it. And if not, I think, Dubois might actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Dubois stops Anthony Joshua, because even during the build-up, Anthony Joshua was saying he's not going to have this approach of being the power puncher, because he knows what Dubois brings, regardless of what they say, they are good, bad, it's all for stage talk, it's for outside world. But internally, they know, they have a proper game plan. I think Anthony Joshua is going to box really well. I think he's going to show his pugilist, what he's actually made of. I think the good old Anthony Joshua boxed well, with not just combinations, but his connectivity, counter punching, and all his other abilities. I think we are going to see that. Who knows? He might even find his right hand at the proper time, and I think Anthony Joshua is going to knock him out probably in the 9th or 10th round, KO or TKO, but it is going to be by stoppage. But again, let me be frank, I genuinely don't feel right that they have stripped Alexander Usyk of his title. And more than that, come on, mate, come on, as a genuine audience of this boxing sport. And we all, not just me, all over the world, we all came across to watch the first, what do you call it as, the undisputed champion in the heavyweight division to be crowned, in Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury. And right after the matchup, when news like this, that they are going to strip him out of this IBF championship pops out, I just didn't feel right. Oh, come on, Anthony plus Alexander Usyk has already beaten both Anthony Joshua and Dubois. And maybe if Dubois wins, I think there could be a possibility of Dubois versus Alexander Usyk, because there is a storyline there. In the initial matchup, it was like what do you call it as? It was below the belly, but below the belt line, not above it. There is a bit of controversy. Anybody who knows proper boxing rules would actually stick up with Usyk, because that's how it is, in a boxing rule. That's how it is. And I don't know, maybe there is a storyline that they could build upon it. And the third time, if Anthony Joshua faces Usyk, I don't know. I have a weird feeling maybe Ben Davidson, the new trainer for Anthony Joshua, who was formerly with Tyson Fury. I think I have a weird feeling he's personally taken it up on his ego because I was able to see that in his Anthony Joshua's previous matchups. I think he must have had the proper camp. Yeah, I think he must have got the proper game plan. I think he must be on track. Ben Davidson has personally taken this to make sure that Anthony Joshua is the next undisputed champion. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Joshua even KOs Alexander Usyk. That's how much I'm trusting in Ben Davidson more than Anthony Joshua. Yes, I think Anthony Joshua is prepared. I think he's calm as usual. Yes, I think the fight is going to go down like properly in the first round. I think they both are going to respect each other, and Anthony Joshua is going to give him space. Like, prove yourself, Dubois. Come on, prove yourself. You are not the what do you call it? As you are not a lookalike of me. You are not an imposter of me. I'm the real Anthony Joshua. And Dubois, when he is trying to come out of the the this external shelter that people have given him. Dubois is the next Anthony Joshua. I think more than that, Dubois wants to prove that he is the first Dubois to begin with. I think when he is trying to come out of that and trying to go in for like proper, like combinations, I think that's where Anthony Joshua is going to counter him quite a lot. I think maybe Anthony Joshua might drop him once or twice in the early rounds, and after that, around 8, 9, 10. I think these three rounds, I think Anthony Joshua finishes him. KOs him. But again, I know this sounds like very pathetic of me because I'm choosing on both the sides. At the end of the day, come on, they both are from London. Like, London has changed my life for the better. So I would never want to go against the beautiful people of London. And regardless of who wins, I'm happy for both of them. And yeah, as usual, like Dubois also has a very strong chance of winning this matchup, but by KO. Yeah, but I'm going to go with Anthony Joshua, 8, 9, or 10th round, stoppage. Probably 9th or 10th round stoppage. Who knows, maybe I could even stream live. Like, I would be showing myself, not, like I'll be streaming the fight live. So, whenever someone is in the comments, hope you guys can ask me the proper questions, not ask me to show my camera so that you can watch the fight for free. Come on. And more than that, yeah, please like, share, subscribe. Hopefully you guys can join me for the live. Hopefully I get to do the live. Yeah, thank you so much, and let's go. Battle for London is up and I'm completely joyous about it. Let's go, London.